Today we are learning how to subtract integers. We will use a number line to find the difference of 5 minus 2. The first step is to look at the first number. The first number in the problem is the number you move to from 0 on the number line. Then the sign determines the direction you will be moving on the number line. If you see the plus sign, it means you are moving in the positive direction or to the right on the number line. If you see the minus sign, it means you are moving in the negative direction or to the left on the number line. The second number in the problem tells you how many units to move. So in our problem, 5 minus 2, we start at 5 on our number line. The minus sign tells us we're going to move in the negative direction or to the left. And the second number tells us how many units to move. So we're going to move to the left 2 units, and we end up at 3 on the number line. So 5 minus 2 equals 3. If we look at problem B, negative 5 minus 2, the first number, negative 5, is where we will start on our number line. The minus sign or subtraction sign tells us to move in the negative direction or to the left, and the second number, 2, tells us how many units to move. So we will move to the left 2 units, and we will end at negative 7 on the number line. So negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. In problem C, negative 5 minus negative 2, you notice that there are 2 negative signs. We have the subtraction sign in between the 2 numbers, and then we have negative 2. Anytime you see 2 of these minus or negative signs next to each other, that can't happen. So we need to make these into positive plus signs. So instead of negative 5 minus negative 2, it will be negative 5 plus positive 2. We need to change these signs before we start marking our numbers on the number line. So that first number, negative 5, tells us where to start on our number line. Now we see a positive or a plus sign, so we need to move to the right in the positive direction on the number line. And the second number, positive 2, tells us how many units to move. So we move to the right 2 units, and we end up at negative 3. So negative 5 plus positive 2 equals negative 3. Now we will complete some guided practice problems together. We are going to subtract the integers using the number lines below. In the first problem I see 7 minus 2. The first number, 7, tells me where to start on my number line. I notice that I don't see 7 on my number line, but I do see that it takes 5 marks to get from 0 to 5. So each one of these marks is worth 1 whole. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more mark, and we reach 5. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it would work the same way the other direction for the negative numbers on our number line. So that first number, 7, tells me where to start. So I'm going to put my point right at 7 on the number line. Then I see the subtraction sign. So that tells me to move in the negative direction or to the left. And then the number 2 tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the left 2 units. And I end up at 5. So 7 minus 2 equals 5. In the second problem, I see 4 minus 6. So that first number tells me where to start on my number line, so I'm going to put my point right at 4. I see the subtraction sign, so it tells me to move in the negative direction or to the left on the number line. And the second number tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the left from my point 6 units. And when I do, I land at negative 2. So 4 minus 6 is negative 2. In problem number 3, we see negative 6 minus negative 1. I notice 2 negative signs right next to each other. So I cannot have this. So what I need to do is change both of these negative signs to positive signs. So instead of negative 6 minus negative 1, I now have negative 6 plus positive 1. So now I'm ready to plot my point and move my point on the number line. So the first number is negative 6. So I'm going to plot that point on the number line. Remember that each one of these marks on this number line is worth 1 whole. So if we start at negative 6, then I see the positive plus sign, so that tells me to move in the positive direction on my number line. And then the second number tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the right 1 unit, because my second number is 1. So when I do, I land at negative 5. So negative 6 plus positive 1 equals negative 5. In the next problem I see 5 minus negative 3. Again, I see the subtraction sign right next to the negative sign in that second number. So I need to change both of these to be positive signs. So now instead of 5 minus negative 3, I have 5 plus positive 3. Remember, it's very important that you change these signs first before you start plotting your point on the number line. So my first number tells me where to start, so I'm going to plot my point at 5 on the number line, positive 5. And then I see the plus sign, so I'm going to move to the right to the positive direction on the number line. And that second number is 3. So it tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the right 3 units. And when I do, I land at positive 8. So 5 plus positive 3 equals 8. In the next problem, I see negative 3 minus 4. So I'm going to mark my point, negative 3, for my first number on the number line. The subtraction sign tells me I need to move in the negative direction on my number line, or to the left. And my second number, 4, tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the left 4 units. And when I do, I land at negative 7. So negative 3 minus 4 equals negative 7. In my last problem, I see negative 2 minus negative 5. Again, I see the subtraction sign right next to the negative sign in my second number. So I need to change both of these signs to be positive. So now, instead of negative 2 minus negative 5, I have negative 2 plus positive 5. So we're going to plot that first number on the number line, negative 2. Then I see the positive plus sign, so I'm going to move to the right. My second number is 5, so it tells me how many units to move. So I'm going to move to the right 5 units. And when I do, I land at positive 3. So negative 2 plus 5 equals positive 3. Now I'm going to show you another way to subtract integers using the T-chart strategy. To use the T-chart strategy, first we will draw a T-chart. We will label the left side negative and the right side positive. The second step is to place the terms on the T-chart. If the term is negative, we will place it on the negative side. If the term is positive, we will place it on the positive side. For example, if we had negative 3 plus 5, we would place the 3 on the left-hand side because it is negative, and we would place the 5 on the right-hand side of our T-chart because it was positive. After you place your numbers on the T-chart, if the numbers are on different sides, like we have just drawn here, we need to decide which number is smaller. That smaller number we will swing to the opposite column and then subtract those two numbers. So in this example, the 3 was smaller than the 5, so we swung the 3 over to the right-hand side in our positive column, and we subtracted the 2. When you subtract 5 minus 3, it equals 2. Because this 2 is in the positive column, our answer will be positive. Now let's look at an example where both of our numbers would fall under the same column. Let's say we have -6 plus -7. Both the 6 and the 7 are negative, so we would place them both under the negative column. If both of your numbers are on the same side, we will keep them on that side and add them together. When we add 6 plus 7, we get 13. The 13 is in the negative column, so the answer to -6 plus -7 is -13. Now let's go over some guided practice problems together. In guided practice problem number 1, I see 15 minus 18. The 15 is positive, so I'm going to place it in my positive column. And the 18 is negative, so I will place it in the negative column because we are subtracting 18. So I notice that the 15 is smaller than the 18. So I'm going to swing that 15 over to the left hand side. And then I need to subtract these two numbers. 18 minus 15 equals 3. The 3 is in the negative column. So my answer is negative. So 15 minus 18 is -3. In guided practice problem number 2, down below, I see 26 minus 13. The 26 is positive, so I'm going to place it on the right in my T-chart. And the 13 is negative because we are subtracting 13. So I'm going to place that on the left-hand side of my T-chart. I notice that the 13 is smaller than 26, so I'm going to swing that number to the right-hand side. And now I need to subtract these two numbers. (26 minus 13 is 13. The 13 is in the positive column, so my answer is positive. So 26 minus 13 is positive 13. In guided practice problem number 3, I see -9 minus 17. My first number, -9, it's a negative number, so I'm going to place it on the left-hand side of my T-chart. My second number is 17. We're subtracting that 17, so it is also negative. So I'm going to place that also on the left-hand side of my T-chart. I'm going to go ahead and reorder these numbers so that I can have the largest number on top. Since both of these numbers are on the same side of my T-chart, I'm going to add them together. 9 plus 7 is 16. carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 17 plus 9 equals 26. The 26 is in the negative column, so my answer will be negative. Negative 9 minus 17 equals negative 26. In my last guided practice problem, I see 12 minus negative 7. I see the subtraction sign and the negative sign in my second number next to each other. So first I have to change both of these signs to be positive. So now I have 12 plus positive 7. The 12 is positive, so I'm going to put it on the right-hand side of my t-chart. The 7 is also positive, so I'm going to place it on the right-hand side of my t-chart. Since both of these numbers are on the same side, I'm simply going to add them together. "12 plus 7 equals 19. The 19 is on the positive side of my t-chart, so my answer will be positive. 12 plus positive 7 equals positive 19. Now you are going to complete some independent practice problems on your own.